First item on the agenda is unfinished business, or I'm sorry, minutes of the regular meeting of July 12th, 2018. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. With no further comments or questions, all those in favor of the approval of the minutes, please raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Next item, being none, unfinished business, there being none, moving on to new business. Item A, the approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between the consolidated City of Indianapolis and the City of Lawrence, Indiana, related to improvements to East 56th Street from Boy Scout Road to Franklin Road. Mr. Anthony, how are you?
Good, how are you? Good evening. So basically, this is a reimbursement contract from the City of Indianapolis for the work that's being done out on 56th Street. As part of that federal aid project, we included some signal relocation and updates and improvements to the signals.
Timing?
Since by Unigov, Indianapolis is responsible for maintenance of traffic signals. They've agreed to reimburse us for our costs on those signal upgrades.
I think in all of my time in political government here, that's the first reimbursement I've ever heard of from Indianapolis. I mean, we maintain the major thoroughfares, unlike we should, but
Right.
That's great news.
Yeah.
This time I'll entertain a motion to approve item A.
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do you have any questions, Mark?
I said that in jest, but
Right.
that's one of the biggest complaints that I hear is the timing of those lights. Is that addressed in this?
Well, it's not addressed by this agreement, but Indianapolis will be responsible for timing of those lights, so I'm sure there will be some retiming and adjustments to what was there before.
Okay.
That would be marvelous.
Yeah.
'Cause it's awful.
Yeah, thank you. Any further comments or questions?
No.
Any considerations from legal? No further comments. All those in favor of approval of item A, please raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Anthony. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the contract with Edwards Electrical and Mechanical for preventative maintenance for a generator for the Lawrence Government Center. I assume this is you as well.
Yes, it is. So it's what it says it is. It's for PM on the generator here at the city building, Edwards Electrical. They're doing our street light upgrades. They do some great work. So they came forward with this quote for the annual contract. It's kind of a biannual check that they do, but they would be responsible for your typical PM type stuff on the generator, making sure it's oiled properly, you know, everything's running appropriately, things like that.
I'll entertain a motion to approve item B.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any questions for Mr. Anthony on this one?
Is this a renewal of an existing?
No. No, beforehand, we had we had another company do it, and Edwards has offered us a better deal.
Was this a bid process or it was just?
No. It was just a quote process.
Anything further? No further comments or questions? Nothing from legal, I assume? Okay. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is item C, the approval of an on-call agreement with Shrewsbury and Associates LLC.
Yep,
You again?
Me as well, yeah.
Man, do you ever sit
Tired
down?
of me
Sit
before.
down.
On-call agreement with Shrewsbury and Associates, we felt it prudent to just execute an on-call agreement so that going forward then we can build their work based on task orders on an hourly basis. And this particular contract does not have a dollar amount attached to it. Dollar amounts would be attached to the individual task orders, which would still have to come before you all for approval.
Okay. I'm going to ask for a first and second. I do have a question, but I want to go ahead and get the motions in place. This time I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a second.
Second.
What in particular are you looking at for the I call it a T&M ticket for the most part on call. Mm-hmm. Is there something you have in particular that you're looking to use them for?
Well, your next one is for task order number 1. It's for an update to our asset management plan. Shrewsbury initially put it together back in 2016. We've asked them to come back and update it because NDOT does require those plans updated every 2 years with current data.
Okay. So this is a formality for item D, basically, is what this is.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
And we've already approved some other work orders with Shrewsbury being the project manager. So does this contract, this first contract, is it for, I guess I'm confused. The first one that we approved, they were project manager just for the road improvements on those specific roads.
Right, they were the designers and people that put the bids together for us.
Okay. And this, then there are going to be billable hours for future work ongoing as need be. And then this second one here is for the required master plan updates
Yes.
and all that.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll just assign, rather than doing separate standalone contracts, we'll assign them based on task orders going forward.
That's what this first one will allow
The
us,
first one will allow us to go the task order route. Yep.
instead of doing,
Each individual contract, yep.
I wasn't sure how it all fit together. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
have a first and second in place if there's nothing from legal. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next item for Shrewsbury is approval of task order number 1 with Shrewsbury and Associates LLC. I think you kind of touched on that, so I'll go ahead and take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Have a second.
Second.
Do you guys have any questions for Mr. Anthony?
No.
Nothing from legal on this either? No. Okay. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item E, the approval of an agreement with the Department of Veterans Affairs. Is there anyone here to speak on that, or? Chief? Okay, sorry. Come on up. How are you this evening?
Fine. How are you, sir?
Thank you, good.
Good evening, everybody. Don't have a lot to add to this, other than it's pretty straightforward. It's a memorandum of understanding. I think it's also related to the next item on the agenda. I'm not sure why they're listed separately. It's essentially a written agreement that states that the Lawrence Police Department will reciprocate with providing law enforcement services in the event that a serious event happens at the Department of VA, either the one downtown at the off of 10th Street or right across the street or right across the parking lot here at the domiciliary.
Okay. All right. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve item E.
Make a motion to approve?
Okay.
Second?
Okay. Do you have any questions for the chief?
Yeah, just, I was, for the one actual downtown as well, or does Indianapolis
it's-
still have the same agreement with them?
They
as-
do, and it's really for all their properties. We do that anyway without a written MOU. I think it's a federal regulation that there is an MOU in place where possible, so.
Gotcha. Mark, do you have any questions?
They have their own police.
They do.
This is more of an assistance program, is that correct?
More of a mutual aid agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor of approval of item E, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Moving on to the next item, item F, approval of the memorandum of understanding for the Department of Veterans Affairs. Sounds like much like we just discussed with Board of Works, so I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions on this?
No.
All those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Chief.
Also, if I could, I'd like to make the announcement. I think you received an email invitation to the swearing in of our 8 new police officers on this coming Monday, July 30th at 10 a.m. right here, actually at this podium. So if you can attend, you're more than welcome and encouraged. And if not, I understand you also have day jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the invite. Next item on the agenda is item G, It's the resolution number 12, 2018, the approval of the lease of the Theater of the Fort with Arts for Lawrence, forgive me. I was asking the question earlier, I believe this is a 10-year lease, can be terminated within 120 days from either party, if that's correct, Dave, correct me?
Yes.
So they are doing.
I apologize if that didn't go out to the
No, you're
board
fine.
members with Ms. Walton's email.
No problem.
I didn't double check that, so I'm not
Quick
sure
question.
if it went or not.
Did not attach it?
I don't know.
I just asked him on the cuff here when we got
Oh,
here.
I thought
I
I
No
hadn't
sweat.
seen it, so.
You did. I received it, so I'm looking at it.
You did good. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 12, 2018.
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Second,
Okay. You guys have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So I've heard at the Reuse Authority meeting that the Arts for Lawrence could possibly be getting a grant to move an old radio station that got hijacked from one spot and moved to another, and then moving the water tower from the Midwest over there,
I don't know if they're moving it or
painting it.
given the presentation that they gave to the council a couple of weeks ago, my impression was that they were painting that. And the grant that they're applying for is
Lilly?
from Lilly. So with the city being the lead applicant on that with Arts for Lawrence, and that's part of why we have a 10-year lease with the 10-year renewal to show the commitment. So, but the goal of that, if they got the full amount that they're going to be applying for, which is I think around $8 million.
They were in the last 10%.
Yeah, they're in the final. I believe it's the final round of interviews, applications.
That's was that interfere with the way the lease is written?
No.
No. Okay.
I believe it even states on the resolution itself that they can pursue grants.
Yes.
No, I meant for adding a piece of, they're moving a foundation, a building, moving it onto the property. Without
What building are they moving?
that it was an old radio station.
Well, this is for the theater itself.
I know, but they're moving that building behind the arts building and using that for
Yeah, this
arts
doesn't
and
affect
craft and
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if there needed to be an addendum in there for, it's not gonna have electricity or anything like that, but if they had to get a separate agreement or approval to do something like that, or, I was just curious.
That's not contemplated under the lease.
Okay. I just didn't want there to be an issue with, they move a whole building and put it behind their building. So, okay.
Thank you for bringing that up. I forget, did I give first? I did, okay. Having a first and second on Resolution 12, 2018, all those in favor of approval, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Next item is comments of the administration. Mr. Anthony, anything new and exciting?
Yeah, just keep it short.
Okay.
As you all probably saw on your way in, 56th Street sidewalk is going on in earnest. Construction's underway. I mean, they'll probably be done within 2 weeks, judging on how quickly they're moving and installing that sidewalk. So I think it'll provide great connectivity for the citizens, and it definitely fills a gap in our pedestrian infrastructure network here in the city. So we're excited to get it open, get it out to the public. Secondly, the resurfacing that we're doing for 2018 that you all approved at your last meeting, German Church, 59th Street and Elmridge. We're having a pre-con early next week with the contractor on those projects. And German Church will be starting resurfacing here within 2 weeks would be my best estimation. So there will be some minor traffic interruptions along German Church, but it'll all be good when it's all done. So that was it.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Thanks.
There,
Sorry.
the contract for the other stuff was all resolved, and
Yes, yep, we got it all resolved, all taken care of. Yep,
that's what we signed.
yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Are there any citizens' comments? No? All right, with no further business coming before this board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment? We are adjourned.